Welcome to Fl'Awesome Blossom. I am your host, Cassiopeia Fleur de la Coeur Flores. And you can call me Kiki. Okay, obviously that's not my real name. And if you were watching right now my blooming blossoms, then you would see that this is not my real hair. These are, however, my own sunglasses, and this is just one of many flower crown and wig combinations that I plan on wearing during this podcast. Perhaps right now you might be wondering, why? Why, if I'm starting a podcast based on community and connection and accepting all of our flaws, why am I hiding behind this amazing outfit, these oversized sunglasses, and that obviously made up name? And the answer, my precious petals, is quite simple. Although my outfit is amazing, and thank you for that. My visage, my looks, my face, it doesn't matter. Nope. My real name doesn't matter. I could be anybody. Also, we're going to be sharing some stories here, so we want to protect some people in our stories by maintaining a little bit of anonymity. So for the purposes of this podcast, my outfits will be amazing. My flower crown and wig combinations will be colorful. And my name will be discussed in its very own episode, so please come back for that. In the meantime, let's talk about what Fl'Awesome Blossom is all about. Fl'Awesome Blossom, this is going to be a fluid concept and an ever-evolving journey of self-discovery. Please join me. Maybe you can discover a little bit about yourself. We're going to be doing some storytelling. We're going to be sharing stories from people and cultures that span known time, geography, and religions. We are going to be looking at some options, getting some inspo on maybe how to be a better person. We are also going to be doing some discovery of the human body, discovering some truths here through education and discussion. Some of us are going through perimenopause and maybe we don't know what the hormone is happening. Let's talk about it. We will talk about some of the symptoms and some of the concerns that perhaps some of us are maybe too embarrassed to talk about. We're going to create a safe place. Let's get to know our bodies a lot more so we can feel more connected to them. And guess what? It's all connected. Additionally, I am hoping to discover what it can be to be part of a community locally, globally, and even galactically if we get that opportunity. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly open to that possibility. Fl'Awesome Blossom is a video podcast by a woman and for women, though not exclusively. I am certainly not excluding any persons or sentient beings who wishes to enjoy, share, or even engage with our content. However, as a woman, it is natural for me to be choosing some of the topics based on women's issues. And trust me, I'm a woman in my 50s going through perimenopause and life, and I've got some issues I wouldn't mind discussing. I am also a woman who is taking some issue with some of the things that are going on in our world today. And I feel it's really important that we have some conversations and some discussions about what's going on so we can learn more about our world, how it operates, and to figure out if we can be agents of change, of positive change within it. So yes, Fl'Awesome Blossom. This is definitely a video podcast as seen through the eyes of a woman, and I wanted to address that bias right away. This is going to be a very lightly edited podcast, not necessarily due to a lack of skill set, though here's where I confess, I have just changed careers. I am now launching myself into creative content creator mode. And I am learning a ton of new skills that come with this new adventure that we're on. So with that said, I am certainly going to be giving myself a lot of grace, a lot of patience and love as I learn these new skill sets and I navigate this content creator avenue that I've chosen to go down. Hopefully, you will be as kind to me and you will see that this podcast grows. Fl'AwesomeBlossom is going to be a little bit Fl'Awesome. It could be awesome. These connections, this community that we're trying to create, this could be awesome. But maybe it's a little bit Fl'Awesome. Maybe there's going to be some hiccups. And maybe it's going to be successful because of, despite any, and probably because of our flaws. Just like people. Some of the personal stories and monologues that we will be sharing here are going to fall under these may or may not have actually happened. And I just want to ask you this here. When the story gets really batshit crazy, is that an indicator that it probably didn't happen? Or is that an indicator that it might have actually happened? I'm going to leave it up to you, my discerning dahlias, to figure it out. Some of the storytelling is going to be me retelling some stories from literature. Some of this literature goes back way back in the way back. Some of it is even way, way back in the absolute way, way backness. And some of it's going to be from our shared history, actual events and facts about things that happened here on Earth. And let's keep in mind that history is written by the winners. So we really have to keep an open mind when we're talking about this, because sure, there could be really good truth nuggets in there, but there also could be some massive embellishments and some sneaky omissions to serve a certain kind of purpose, keep the narrative going, or serve an agenda. Speaking of literature that serves a purpose and agenda, we are also going to be touching base into one of the most popular books on this planet. We are going to be talking about some of the stories from The Greatest Story Ever Told. And if you are not familiar with that alternate title of one of the most popular books on the planet, then don't you worry. It's not going to be a thing. Because much like the 1001 Arabian Nights, and much like the complete works of my man here, William Shakespeare, this book is also full of hundreds of stories and parables, and we're going to be reading some of them, not all of them, and we're going to be having some esoteric conversations about whether or not we would like to adapt any of these gleams or themes into our lives. Most of our episodes will be monologues and storytelling. However, I do intend to have some interviews with some awesome people in my monkey sphere and my community. And if things go well, then I hope to have people from all over this big, beautiful planet come and have a kiki with Kiki. And you know what? If things go super awesome and supernova, I'm willing to host people or entities from beyond our galaxy. Why not? Let's keep an open mind. Let's lead with curiosity, grace, and love. Maybe you're thinking, hey, Kiki, you've alluded to aliens a couple times in this intro already. Is this podcast about aliens? Well, it's not about aliens. This is going to be a safe place for us to discuss a number of topics and learn a thing or two about a thing or two. We are going to be diving into topics that range from life, death, to the universe. And you're going to say, whoa, Kiki, that's a lot. And yeah, it is, my buds. But guess what? We're not going to take it on all at once. We're going to take it a little piecemeal here, a little piecemeal there. And we are going to discover that we have a lot more in common than we actually think. Fl'AwesomeBlossom, this is going to be a beacon of light, love, and laughter that travels on the radio waves out into the universe. Maybe you're going through a bit of a tumultuous time and you want 15 to 25 minutes of not that. Maybe you're a person going through menopause and you are seeking some sisterhood with your symptoms. Maybe you're a human being wanting to hear a human story and feel a little bit more connected to yourself or maybe the people around you. Sometimes we are the medicine that each other needs in that age-old tradition of sharing a story, sharing a laugh, and maybe even sharing some tears. And I'll tell you what, it wouldn't hurt if we shared some serious knowledge along the way as well. Join us for conversations about it all. Let's gain some personal power over our own stories and over our own human bodies. And let's explore how we can use those tools to create a better, more compassionate, more empathetic world. A world with more love, hope, grace, and joy than the one that we're currently living in. There is that saying, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, Cassiopeia Fleur de la Coeur Flores, I vow to be a net force for good. So let's influence people a little bit more to be more authentic, more loving, more in care and control of their own bodies. And let's just break out of this cyclone of negativity that seems to be surrounding us. Fl'AwesomeBlossom is going to be a force for good in this world. Let our content and our conversations be the podcast equivalent of sunflowers, radiating their light and energy onto the smaller flowers around them as a way of sharing resources and shoring up survival. So that's it. That's what we're here all about at Fl'AwesomeBlossom. Changing and loving the world and each other and ourselves, one story at a time. Creating connections and community, remembering, blending, and preserving our common knowledge for the greater good. I do hope that you will join us and support our endeavor by subscribing to our Fl'AwesomeBlossom YouTube channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That helps us out. Tell your friends, listen, watch wherever you get your podcasts. I hope that you will consider being a patron of our efforts by joining our Best Buds community over on our website at Fl'AwesomeBlossom.com. There you will get full-length episodes. You will get song lists for each episode, just a little bit of music to help us tune into our topics. You will also get exclusive access to Kiki's spoken word. Kiki kicking it with the ukulele. Yeah, that's right. It's called an ukulele, and I'm learning to play. And when I get a little bit good, I'm going to share with you because I'm going to let this little light shine in every possible way. I am going to be a beam of light. I am going to let my little light shine, my special kind of stardust. This is it. This is what this podcast is really, really all about. Thank you so much for joining us, and I do hope to see you again next week. Until then, I hope you're out there living your life in full Fl'Awesome.